Welcome to The Deciding Point, our Cracked Racquets weekly breakdown of the biggest storylines happening throughout the tennis world. This week's episode going to focus on the 2021 Wimbledon, all of us tennis fans turning our attention to the year's third Grand Slam. I want to talk not only about my takeaways from the event, but how those takeaways apply to the broader context of what we've seen over the last 52 weeks in the tennis world. In particular, this episode going to focus on the women's side, and it should be a fantastic home stretch. Barty versus Kerber, Sabalenka versus Pliskova, all setting up for a fantastic final few days at the 2021 Wimbledon. With that in mind, let's talk some WTA Tour on this show. Westoff, hit those credits. Let's get rolling. Stop me if you've heard this before, but one of the biggest takeaways coming out of this 2021 Wimbledon, the parity we continue to see on the WTA Tour. You look now after the conclusion of this event, we will have had 12 different semifinalists in the 12 semifinal spots at the year's 3 Grand Slams on the women's side. Now, perhaps you're thinking, that sounds familiar. Haven't we seen that before? Yes, we have. In fact, it was as recently as 2019 that this exact same thing occurred. You look here in 2021, the only players to have made multiple quarterfinals at the Grand Slam level, Ashley Barty and Karolina Muchova. You look at the 12 players to have made the semifinals. You had I believe it was Jennifer Brady, Naomi Osaka, Serena Williams, Karolina Muchova in Australia at the French Open. It was Sakkari taking on Krejcikova, Zidansek taking on Pavlyuchenkova. Here it's Barty taking on Kerber and Sabalenka taking on Pliskova. So much variety, right, in those names, in the career arcs of those 12 players. Of course, one name you didn't hear included in that list is the only player to have made it to the 4th round of all 3 Grand Slams this year on the women's side. That's Iga Swiatek, and all of this speaks to the parity we continue to see right now in the women's game. Again, if I threw you Naomi Osaka, like that's your favorite entering the 2021 US Open, right? She has earned the right, the way she blitzed through the US Open, the Australian Open, to be named a prohibitive favorite on any hardcourt event and at any hardcourt event she plays over these next few seasons, until someone proves us otherwise. But who might prove us otherwise? How about the aforementioned Iga Swiatek? How about a player I haven't discussed, Bianca Andreescu, who certainly, her inexperience, clay courts, grass courts, we knew that coming into this European swing, and that was a good sample size for us. But coming into New York and coming into the summer hard courts, if she's healthy, we all know the sort of success she can have. Sonia Kenin was a revelation in 2020. She hasn't played her best tennis here in 2021, but if she can re-find her form, and then obviously you have the power tennis of Sabalenka clicking on all cylinders. She's finally done it at a Grand Slam. I haven't even mentioned Ashley Barty, your number 1 player in the world, who looks healthy and has made her run to the semifinals of this Wimbledon look almost routine in how casual her effort has been. And just, again, the Garbine Muguruza's of the world. If Simona Halep gets healthy, what does she have left for us? Pliskova's, and then the Sakkaris, the Jabours, the Mertens, the Pagulas, the Keys, the Stevens, the Anissimovas, Yastremska's coming back. I can go on and on and on. There are so many talented women right now on the WTA Tour. When you look at the Final Four we have here, it's so rare, it feels like, that we get 4 of the players who have actually been playing over the entire 52-week span, because, again, so many of these players have high ceilings. They just have to catch fire for 2 weeks to have success at the slams. But Barty, we know her game was always suited for this surface. She's played exceptionally well over these 2 weeks. Angelique Kerber enters the semifinals on a 10-match winning streak for the 4th time in her career. She won a warm-up event on grass in Bad Homburg leading up to Wimbledon. She's proved it all through weeks 1 and 2. She's got the goods. She deserves to be in the Final Four. Aryna Sabalenka, when her power tennis is clicking, doesn't matter what surface you're playing on, the results will be there for her into her first semifinal. And Karolina Pliskova, no one was thinking about Pliskova entering this event. Perhaps that is what made her so dangerous and able to swing and hit so freely. And now, at least she's been to a Grand Slam final. You can't say that about Sabalenka. And then on the other side of the draw for Barty, for Kerber, it's been a while since they've been on that stage as well. So certainly it is leading to a fun stretch. And again, this parity, it's what makes all of these combinations, these permutations available to us in the later rounds of these women's singles Grand Slam events so exciting. And it's just, there are 15 to 20 players who on any given week can emerge as a champion. And some people will criticize that and say there's no single dominant figure, and that's what the sport needs, is a dominant figure for everyone to chase. I disagree, because I think the level of all 15 of these players we have discussed are all really, really good. And I do think 3 to 4 of them can stand out above the rest, but parity is fun, and it makes things interesting. When you don't know what's going to happen, that beats the alternative. We all knew Djokovic was going to cruise into the semifinals. That's no fun. We didn't know this was how it was going to work out on the women's side. That it did this way, certainly a blessing for all of us tennis fans.